There's two kinds of ways a person can think. One, when you're the soldier, fight, never give up, and follow your orders. But another way, when you're the general, and you give the orders, and you give the commands, and they listen to you. So, I, today, am the general of this battlefield, and I have several fronts, because everything that you do, everything is not just a fight, but it's a battlefield, a front line, and you have to marshal your forces, your troops, your supplies and equipment. How many battles are lost because of poor management? And that's why today I have to think, how am I going to move the battle space? You have to be flexible because no plan survives the battlefield. And the same with these cars and what you're working on. My plan for today is to bring in Olivia. She needs to be closer to the supply lines, so she's coming back to the rear while I move the other cars forward. But as the cold weather comes, we will not make the mistakes Germany made or France made. You don't fight winter wars unless you are thoroughly prepared. It's time for battle! Welcome to the theater. Those of you that still follow me are true soldiers. The rest, deserters. Deserters! You hear that? That's okay because we are raised stronger armies. And the theater is here with all the front lines. And you have to think like the general, because just being the soldier and dying for your country or for your car is stupid. You let your enemy die for his cause. Write down in the comments if you know who said that. So, we're going to cool down the front for Blackjack and for Scarlet, which means they have to be prepped. We're going to vacuum up all these leaves, because when you cover the car, you don't want anything underneath it. That's like advancing your front line, but still having enemies behind your lines? No, unacceptable! So, let's get to work. In our battle against the leaves, we bring out the artillery. This Shov Vac. Now the reality is they're all the same motors inside. Don't be fooled by, oh, this is bigger, this is horsepower. It's meaningless. But a decent Shov Vac that's built to last is all you need. Now one thing you need to make sure, are you dry or are you wet? That's gross. Now I had used this without the bag or the filter, and this is what happens. So, either you go with the wet system, which means no bag, but you put the sock, or you put the bag, otherwise your filter gets... Now you can see all the dust that was inside the filter. That was a tactical mistake on my part. But I don't shy away from saying I'm wrong. I learn from it. This is one of them. Bag is mounted. Filter gets put in next. Send in the vacuums! Some battles are harder than the others. Bloopers are particularly hard to defend against the scourge of the leaves. But now we are ready to cover the cars. But there's another battle that needs to be won before. So the next battle is getting the Crown Victoria started. Now we're going to attempt to use not just the charger, but the engine start feature, the 50 amps at 12 volts. That means we're gonna use 10 amps. You don't want your troops to be without proper supplies. Now I've used the shortest cable possible. Which is not enough. Well, this is a great charger. It sucks at starting, so it's been demoted. Now I'm going to be taking off the battery completely. One of the things I do not like are the metric nuts and bolts on the Crown Victoria. Not to mention this entire battery is very cramped in here. So we're going to bring more heavy artillery! These inexpensive but very useful tools. A battery grabber. Basically slide it around the battery and the weight of it makes it dig in. And you can lift it. But before we do that, let's give the battery charger a chance to earn its stripes. It's very possible this battery is dead. Now this is a perfect opportunity to differentiate between strategy and tactics. Now what I'm using now, how to hook up the battery, how to basically get this car started, are all tactics using a battery charger. You could even push it, which obviously that is not available to me. But in the end, the strategist inside of me realizes that all of these tactics will fail. So, rather than straining that battery, straining the charger, pushing your troops to exhaustion and failure, we'll replace them and we'll get another battery which has been charging before. Because that's why I'm a strategist. I am trying to anticipate any problem I may have. Now the problem I was worried about was the charger. Now one of the problems chargers have is if the battery is completely drained, you're not going to be able to put any kind of juice into it without shunting the battery. But as you can see, the needle is in the middle. If the battery is totally drained, the charger will show it as a full charge. Obviously it's wrong, but our charging squadron is doing its glorious job. So the biggest battle on the Olivia front are the brakes. I have a leaking brake system. No big deal, but I need to turn it around. Go out on the street, back up, pull in, and pull forward while not getting stuck. So as I said before, no plan survives the battlefield. The only thing we can do is just give the order and see what happens. We're going to start her up and see how bad the air leak is. Bring me the keys. We're going to be paying attention to our air gauges. Now we still do not have any kind of RPMs or temperature, although we do have oil pressure, which is pretty good. Now while at idle, we still have some smoke, but that's fine. Okay, so now we're at 7 bars, atmospheres, whatever voodoo Europe uses. And watch the problem we're having. So I'm going to release the brakes. And you can hear it. And even revving up is not compensating. Archie. We lost 2 atmospheres in whatever that was. I'll put it up when I do the video. But clearly we have a big problem. A lot of strategists will point out to a blitzkrieg or doing everything you can as fast as you can. Now this is one of those situations where if I was to try to get out into the street, back out, and then pull back inside here facing forward the way I need it to be facing, it's very possible that we're going to, well, not possible, it's impossible to not block traffic, which will draw attention, which the bus is registered and all that, so I'm not worried about that, but still. You try to get in with the least disturbance to your surroundings. Get in quietly, forcefully, and decisively. And unfortunately, I do not think I can get a decisive action here. Now, the good thing is we know where the leak has to be. It's in the brake system, the active brake system. Actually, it's not even that, because pressing on the brakes, pressure's holding. That's my service brake. It's releasing the parking brake. Actually, it's holding. We're holding. We may be able to do this. Low pressure, scraping brakes. Now, the battle's not over yet until we take this land. Which means some more maneuvering and waiting for air reinforcements to arrive. Make it happen. We're moving out. That's how you turn it off manually. So, can I say mission accomplished? Yes, I can. Send in the vacuums. And the same with these. Send in the vacuums. They lost their way. When men and children fight, they will dying side by side.